Yep. It's Monday. It's an emotional Monday, and I personally would like to hear from the audience at Black Greek and Jew or 800-223-9797. Use this as your soundboard. Place the sound off. Talk about how you feeling. Because as you go out and go back to work today, man, keep those emotions in check. Be smart. You know, I think one of the big headlines in this Trayvon Martin story, tragedy, is about keeping your emotions in check. Because I know as someone who's been profiled, somebody who gets looked at a certain way, you have to go over and above to check your emotions on a day-to-day basis and make sure you ain't cracking nobody across their effing skull for how they talk to you. Rosenberg, Cypher Sounds, Laura Styles, Shawnee Culture. I'm sure you got some feelings on this. Are you still sorting through your emotions, Shawnee Culture?
I've been speechless for a few days, and yeah, I'm trying to find out where my emotional place is. I mean, clearly I feel like the justice system failed us right now, but I'm really trying to see what's the next move for us. You know, what's the proactive thing that we could do at this point to make sure Trayvon's death isn't in vain?
I think, honestly, brother, man, it's about how we raise our kids and how we love our families, how we educate ourselves, how we understand, you know, because I don't think this is a black-white thing. I think this is a state of mind thing. And how individuals view other individuals based on their social programming. I think that's what prompted Zimmerman to approach Trayvon. And that approach prompted Trayvon's reaction, which ultimately resulted in him dying. Because I don't believe he's from a broken home. Right. His father's there, his mother's there.
Yeah.
All the information we have on the kid, I mean, he's a regular teenager, right? I mean, we haven't really...
That's what it seems.
That's what we know, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just tough. It's tough to find... You want to be emotionally... You just want to be outraged. But then the other part of you wants to kind of learn from it. You know, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think the story is more... it is about race and it isn't. It is about race... It's about Trayvon's race.
Yes.
It's not about Zimmerman's race because, to be honest, everyone's had his race wrong to start out with. He's not a white man. He's a half white, half Hispanic man. Yep. So what it's about is the views that this country seems to still have about young black men. I think that's what the big... But I did notice over the weekend when I found out what happened was I was in a room with 5 white men, much whiter than me men, corporate Wall Street dudes. As their jobs, at least. And this wasn't like one of those racial things where it went down. You saw all the white people be like, yay. Everyone in the room was like, you saw everyone's face look to the floor and go, damn, the system's messed up. So there are cases in our past which are really important, which divided these racial lines. This division is only between like ultra racists and then everyone else. Because anyone who sees a child...
And that's why I think it's a state of mind.
I think I heard you say I think you're right about that, because this isn't a black-white thing. No one believes that Trayvon should have died. There's some people who might think, oh, well, I understand why the case didn't go that way. They didn't present a good case. Or, oh, I think Trayvon might have beaten him up. Oh, I didn't think he beat him up. But by and large, it wasn't this one divide of white people were like, yay, the white man got off. I don't think people felt that way. At least not in the circles I was in.
And I said this earlier too. We have to remind ourselves that Florida is not your regular state with its laws. We've seen that time and time again. Time and time again.
Florida's not regular by anything.
Saif, you all right, brother?
I'm twisted.
In what way?
Upset. I mean, if you're talking about solutions, the solution is not, it's 20 years out. It's taking a kid born today, teaching him the right way to
handle himself
into his adult life. And people want a solution now, today. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can happen today. Nothing. And I feel I was, making my points all last week that I think this guy was going to get off. And I was like, I hope I'm wrong. I want to come to work. And I got the news on Saturday night, and I was like, damn, like, how can I be right about this? Like, even if it was self-defense or whatever it is, the kid is dead. He's gone. Zimmerman gets nothing.
Walks away.
That's the worst part. And he gets his gun back.
He got his gun back.
That's hard.
When did we learn that? I didn't even hear that.
That was yesterday. It started coming out.
The same gun he killed Trayvon with.
That's, I think, one of the things that makes the case so bizarre is that, I've felt like the wrong thing has happened before, right? Like, even if Shawnee and I were talking over the weekend, even talking about OJ, right? Mm-hmm. Some people were really upset. They're like, but OJ did it. It's like, yeah, well, a lot of people think he had something to do with it. But we don't know what happened. In this case, he's acknowledging he killed an unarmed child.
Yeah.
That's right.
We know that. But that's nothing. You get nothing.
Nothing.
So, and that also then points to a huge failure with the justice system in general. Like, this trial doesn't make sense.
Well, and let's be clear, a stand your ground state where there's a law on the favor of the person who, quote unquote, stands their ground against a potential harmful.
He wasn't on his ground. The guy wasn't on his property.
Right.
Zimmerman, I'm saying, wasn't on his property. Is that
what the law's supposed to be? That on your property or when there's confrontation?
And that's the gray. Because people play both sides of that.
That's what I was trying to understand.
The stories I've read have been both sides of that, right? And then the argument is Zimmerman was a community watchman in a gated community. So they played that.
In a gated community that had 8 break-ins in the previous year.
I applaud him for stepping up and being a neighborhood watchman or whatever you call it. That's why when he saw Trayvon and thought he was looking a little suspect, he called the cops. Great, all that's great. You want to protect your community. Great. Cops said don't follow him.
End the conversation.
Okay, maybe he's like, don't approach him. Even if you follow him slowly in your truck. All that is great. If the cops came, searched Trayvon, saw he had nothing on him, he was like, no, I'm just going to my dad's house. All that would have been great. Why did the guy get out of the car and walk up to him? That's where I drew the line and go, anything after that, you're on your own. You walked into an unknown territory when you were told not to. After that, you're on your own. And he gets nothing. I knew he wasn't going to get murdered, too.
So I've been thinking for some time, and we can talk about this more, and we'll take your phone calls, 800-223-9797 on how you feel, at Black Rican Jew, that the murder thing wasn't going to stick.
Yeah, it's not murder.
Because of the circumstances. And I believe that the prosecution was too close to the case emotionally. They wanted to make it a big racial incident headline.
Yeah.
Because we know it, like Rosenberg said, we know race has something to do with why the outcome was what it was.
Absolutely.
Man, I was reading something about those prosecutors, and they said every black man they've ever tried to prosecute goes to jail.
What?
They're
you mean the ones they tried to
the prosecutors that tried to get George Zimmerman.
Right.
They have. I was reading.
They have a history of losing, or they have a history of winning.
Like they win.
When there's a black guy and they're prosecuting him, jail for lesser things.
But in this case, now, Saif, we did get. That's really interesting. We got one thing wrong on Friday. We were like, when we heard the judge said, "Please consider a lesser charge," we saw that as, oh, why are they trying to already give him something less?
No, the judge was trying to help.
The judge was trying to save us. The judge was trying to be like, guys, I know you're not going to give him that. Okay, don't just acquit him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what the judge was trying to do. And they're like, no, we're just going to go with the acquittal. Absolute acquittal.
Sanford, Florida. That's the name of the city. Right?
Yeah, fine city. Sanford, Florida.
Reasonable doubt. There's a dead kid. There's no doubt.
And the guy admitted he killed him.
Hey, let's
It's crazy. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
All right, 800-223-9797.
The phone just blowed up, my G.
All right, so let's let people talk all day and just have a good conversation.
It's the Hot 97 morning show. It's 6:14 right now.
The Hot 97 morning show.
The #1 morning show on your radio.
Oh, man, 6:21, time for 97 seconds of news and sports. Rosenberg, sir, rundown. I don't know. Is there anything left to run down in this Trayvon tragedy?
I think after we got the verdict on Saturday night, which 6 jurors, 6 females, 5 of which were mothers, which I found interesting, 5 white women, 1 half Hispanic, half black woman, found him not guilty. So now Obama has spoken on it, called it a tragedy, of course has encouraged people to be calm and thoughtful on this subject. The Justice Department will now investigate to see whether or not his civil rights were violated in some way.
I hear about that. That's just something to try to get us to think about something else.
Wait,
the Justice Department's going to investigate. What are you investigating?
Well, they just said, because I think that, here's the way I look at it. The federal government is not pleased with this outcome. I don't believe Obama, of course, or people beneath him wanted this not guilty verdict. So I do think they would potentially try to find something to do it again out of Florida in a federal court. But the question is, do they have any real reason to do that? Because the crazy thing is this, right? So I was so blown when my brother-in-law got killed and the kid got his sentence, which was an okay sentence at the time. He got like 20 years to start out.
This was a drunk driving incident.
Yes, drunk driving case where he killed 3 people. So it was like he got like 5 years per kid that he killed and then something else. They gave him like 20 years. We're like, okay, that's all right. But then 3 months later, he was like, no, I want a retrial. And they gave him a retrial and dramatically reduced the sentence. In America, they have it set up like that so we as citizens can get that opportunity, which is generally something we want.
Right.
We don't want the government to be able to prosecute again and again and again, right? Because 9 times out of 10, that's not the situation you want. So in this case, we're screwed over. So the criminal, had he lost, he would have appealed, and there could have been another trial. But since it went to not guilty, the state can't do anything again. They lost. It's another thing I find very interesting is that in this case, the cops basically lost too, because the cops were sort of, you would imagine, on the side of the state. It was the state prosecuting. It was a guy who disobeyed cops' orders. And so no one gets a retrial, even though they want one.
And you can tell from the statement that Obama made yesterday that this is definitely a gun rights issue as well.
Yeah.
About, guns in America and laws, protecting people who use guns potentially in a bad way like this.
And the crazy thing about stand your ground is, too, you're acknowledging if you're having a fist fight, you can use your gun. You don't need to fight back with your fists. You can instantly kill the person if you have to. It's just basically saying killing can be okay. That can be an option. Not walk away, not just shoot the fair one. No, shoot an actual gun. The other story is that it started out with very, very light in the protest department. It seems to have been picking up as the day went on. It didn't.
Yeah, I think the one in Union Square. Shout out to Kevin Powell, whom we know. He got people together twice yesterday in Union Square. There was also Times Square,
right?
And then Laura Stiles. Some other cities were pretty active as well.
Yeah, Los Angeles was very active. Chicago, Milwaukee, San Francisco. I mean, there was footage of that everywhere.
Of course, the San Francisco one got a little crazy because you know how the Bay does.
It was Oakland. Let's be clear. There's a difference between Oakland and It's like Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Very different.
Things are one way in Manhattan, and you go out to Brooklyn, and we ain't having it.
In the sports world related to this issue, our friend Victor Cruz tweeted initially that the streets will catch up to George Zimmerman within a year. He then deleted the tweet and released an apology where he explained in detail how he feels on the issue and that, he was responding to what he saw basically on his Twitter timeline and what he was seeing from the world and how upset people are that he thought that. But
I've been on the email with Victor Cruz over the last couple weeks, and he's coming to see us. He wanted to be here today, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but because I was traveling, we didn't lock it down, but he'll be here hopefully this week.
That'll be very good.
I hate all that talk like, the streets are going to get him. Nothing's going to happen to him. Nobody's going to do nothing to him. But nobody's going to touch Zimmerman. Nobody's going to assassinate him in the courtroom like New Jack City. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to go on vacation. He's going to come back, and nothing's going to happen.
But the only problem I have with you saying that, Saif, is you say it with disappointment, as if the better solution would be if someone murdered him.
No, I'm just saying that's what people waste their energy even saying that. Well, people waste their energy saying, we're going to handle it in the streets. No, you're not. So then let's get something really handling.
Yankees lost. Mets won. And now it's time for the Major League Baseball All-Star break. So you have the Home Run Derby and all that stuff tonight. That's out at Citi Field right here in Queens. And then tomorrow night, the All-Star game. And that's 97 seconds of news and sports.
Wake up, New York.
Yo, wake up, New York. The Hot 97 Morning Show.
They say Meta World Peace wants to come to the Knicks.
Yeah, I saw that. This portion of the program is made hot by Blink Fitness. Check out Thursday nights at Webster Hall with our very own Spinfo, made hot by Blink Fitness. We salute you, Blink Fitness, for us supporting us. Cypher Sound. So what Cypher was saying just a second ago is, in response to people thinking or saying that they're going to do something and not activating. A lot of times, Syph, that's just because it's almost like a fantasy. It's almost like a dream because you feel powerless as an individual. And so you say these things because you don't know where to
no, I get it.
Place your frustration.
Of course.
And so sometimes music helps.
Well, I got music.
We got some rebel tunes because you know I need some. Yeah, murder. This was one of those Watch the Throne records that was overlooked. It was. 627, man. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna play music that hopefully fits the emotion of today, as well as your favorite joints. We're gonna try to do it all this morning, man. It's a lot. Good morning.
Papery murder, black on black murder. Papery murder, black on black murder. This is to the memory, damn Roy Henry. Too much enemy fire to catch a friend. Strays from the same shade, still we on the same team. Giving you respect, I expect the same thing. All black everything, you know my fresh coat. My fight for you, don't increase my stress though. Watching the throne, very happy to be you. Power to the people, when you see me, see you. And I'm from the murder capital where they murder for capital. Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon. Looking at the news like damn, I was just with them after school. No shop class, but had the school got a tool. And I could die any day type attitude. Plus his little brother got shot repping his avenue. It's time for us to stop and redefine black power. 41 souls murdered in 50 hours. Papery murder, black on black murder. Papery murder, black on black murder. Yeah. Murder, yeah. It's a genocide. Cause I can still hear his mama cries. Know the family traumatized. Shots left, holes in his face. About piranha size. The old pastor closed the cold casket. It said the church ain't got enough room for all the tombs. It's a war going on outside when you ain't safe from. I feel the pain in my city wherever I go. 314 soldiers died in Iraq. 509 died in Chicago. I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died. Real smoke to fly. 87 for 21 is supposed to die. So I'm out here celebrating my post-demise. If you put crabs in a barrel to ensure your survival, you gon' end up pulling down and down to look just like you. What up, blood? What up, cuz? It's all blood us. The papery murder, black on black murder. The papery murder, black on black murder again. Black on black murder again. Black on black murder again. It's a celebration of black excellence. Black tie, black Maybachs. Yeah. Black excellence, opulence, decadence. Plexus next to the president. A present I dress in Drees. And other boutique stores in Paris. And sheepskin coats, I silence the glam. Do you know who I am, Clarice? No cheap cologne whenever I success never smells so sweet. I stink of success, the new black elite. They say my black car bear the mark of the beast. I repeat, my religion is the beat. My verse is like church, my Jesus peace. Now please, domino, only spot a few blacks the higher I go. What's up, well? Shout out to O. That ain't enough, we gon' need 1 million more. Kicking the door, Biggie flow. I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go. Yeah, it's all messed up when it's nowhere to go. So we won't take the time out till we reach the T.O.P. For parolees, the whole G. So keys, low keys. We like the promised land of the OGs in the past. If you picture events like a black tie, what's the last thing you expect to see? Black guys, what's the life expectancy for black guys? The system's working effectively. That's why I be a real man. Take care of your son. Every problem you had before this day is now done. New crib, watch a movie. Cause ain't nothing on the news but the blues. Hit the mall, pick up some Gucci. There ain't nothing new but your shoes. Sunday morning, praise the Lord. You the girl that Jesus has been saving me for. So let's savor this moment and take it to the floor. Black excellence, truly yours.
to the dark side. Somewhere inside my childhood when it's my heart died. And even though we both came from the same places, the money and the fame made us all change places. How could it be? Through the misery that came to pass, the hard times make a true friend afraid to ask for currency, but you can run to me when you need, and I'll never leave. Honestly, someone to believe in, as you can see, it's a small thing to a truth. What could I do? Real homies help you get through. And coming new, he do the same thing if he could. Cause in the hood, true homies make you feel good. And half the times we be acting up, call the cops, bringing a cease to the peace that was on my block. It never stops when my mama asks me, will I change? Tell her yeah, but it's clear I'll always be the same until the end of time.
These broken wings, I need your hands to come and heal me once again.
Until the end of time.
Till the end of time.
Please don't forgive me for my life of sin. My heart still seem to scare all my sister's kids. So you know I don't hang around the house much. This all night money making got me out of touch. Ain't flashed a smile in a long while. An unexpected birth, worse of the ghetto childs. My attitude got me walking solo, ride out alone in my Lolo, watching the whole world move in slow-mo. For 5 times disappear, listen to the ocean. Smoking points, think my thoughts, then it's back to coasting. Who can I trust in this cold world? My phony homie had a baby by my old girl, but I ain't tripping, I'm a player, I ain't sweating him. My sexy sister had a mom like his next again, no remorse, it was meant to happen. Besides rapping, only thing I did good was rap until the end of time.